Okay, all right. This is a quick video just to share with you what I ended up doing with my daughter's planner and her challenge guide. Um, I ended up breaking them up. Originally, I had the planner portion within the challenge guide. I mean, within the 3-ring binder that we use for her class. Disregard all the paper, all the little notations you see. Anyway, I had this inside of here, outside of this little paper binder, a little paper folder with the little clips. I didn't have it in here originally, but I found that it needs to be separate because this was getting a little too thick. So at any rate, I'm going to show you both of them. Let's start with the binder. Let's start with the planner. This is the planner that I got offline, and it's also a copy of the challenge guide for challenge 1. And I ended up copying the guide because I like to keep my guide fresh and make copies for my daughter because she doesn't need the whole guide, which is why I like the 3-hole punched one. All right, let me show you what I pulled to create this. This comes straight from the challenge guide, and let's see, it is page 6 from the challenge guide. It's just an overview. It's an overview of all the challenge programs, and it just really gives the student a vision and a reminder of where we're headed. So that's the first page, and it's just there for fun. Okay, let's move forward. When you flip from that page, then I've got the planner, and the planner, I kept the instructions in the planner just because I wanted to, just in case she wants to read it. And it's all in one place. The first week of the planner starts here. It says semester 1, week 1. And for the planner, I'm using just one sticky. It says current planner, current week. So this gives me, this gets moved every time we go to a new week. And it's just a reusable tab, a thicker tab divider, a little tab, stick-on tab, so that as it gets dirty, I mean, I've got several of these, I can go back and get some more. And in fact, I made these tabs from cutting this in threes because I ran out of small tabs, so I had to make it work. At any rate, the planner, this is the student planner portion with all of the weeks broken down into daily tasks. For example, you have your seminar day, and then you have your day 1 at home, day 2, day 3, and day 4. So you can use it for whenever your seminar day is, whether you meet on a Monday or a Friday or a Tuesday. This would be your seminar day, and these are the 4 days at home. Okay, after you get out of the planner, the student planner, that's when these tabs begin. These tabs refer to the challenge guide week numbers. The first week is week 1, and it has all the detail for week 1 because it's the challenge guide. And I go through 15 weeks. I do not even make a guide I don't make a planner for the second half of the year because at the end of 15 weeks, we pretty much pull out all of that semester's work, and then I build the new one for the second half of the year. So this is only going to be the first semester, and it goes all the way to week 15, as you can see here. The reason I put the challenge guide in front of the student or behind the student planner, because although there are little check marks for the things that are going to be done throughout each day that is denoted in the student planner, I want my student to be able to go to the actual challenge week and confirm as a checks and balances that she's done all of the at-home work for logic, all of the at-home work for grammar, which is our Latin strand, and all of the at-home work for each of the strands. She can look here for what's to be done at home and then confirm that the student planner matches the challenge guide, and she can check it off here. And that just makes me feel, it gives her some level of independence and accountability. So that is this part. This is separate. But actually, I will put it, she will be instructed to put this very thin a planner into the external pocket of her challenge binder, her challenge one binder. In fact, I'm going to put it in there now. And this is where it will stay every time, for every when we come to CC. If she brings this, most likely yeah, she will have to bring it, because we will refer to the challenge guide, and the challenge guide is in here for her, and I keep my copy over here or over there. So anyway, we are now in the 3-ring binder. As you can see, the 3-ring binder is 3 inches wide, and the reason it's 3 inches wide is because it will hold everything that she needs for seminar, as well as with the pocket for that holds everything that she'll need to bring to seminar that she's working on at home. The first thing that I put in her challenge binder is the semester snapshot. And I've actually denoted, I've made a clear picture of what is to be, of the exposition part with regard to the books that we're reading to discuss in class and we're going to do work on all of the books we're reading, but we're going to do essays on some of them. So I've identified those, and I've made it 2-sided. In the original challenge guide that's right here, that information is 2 facing pages, but I wanted it to be back and front so that it fit into one sheet protector. After that, I've got a list of the rhetorical assignments, so from each of the strands, and that is also 2-sided, so that she can know what's to be done, so she can have a snapshot of the rhetorical assignments. There is one more set of papers. Well, actually, it's very similar to these rhetorical assignments. It actually, it's for a specific strand, so I'm not going to talk about that until I get to the strand. And guess what? We're there. For each of the strands, I've got tab dividers, just really cute tab dividers. Grammar, exposition, research, debate, reasoning, and logic. Each of these tab dividers is a pocket folder. The reason why it's a pocket folder is because anything that she's working on that she needs to bring into class that day can go into this pocket folder. When she is done with it, it can be 3-hole punched and put behind the pocket folder, because the pocket folder is also the tab that identifies the strand that we're working in. So let me move this a little bit so that it can be in camera. Oh, I'll move it this way. Okay, so you've got the tab divider with the pocket folder, and then behind that, I've gone to the back of the challenge guide, and I've looked at the appendix, and I've grabbed the appendix that matches that particular strand. So you've got the grammar appendix right here, and it talks about tailoring. This is more for me, but she's welcome to look at it. And then of course it's got the invention canon, and the 5 common topics with some examples of questions for each of those 5 topics: definition, comparison, circumstance, relationship, and testimony. These are the 5 common topics. These are the questions regarding them. And all of those the 5 common topics are a part of the first canon of rhetoric, invention, coming up with something to say. That's basically what invention starts with. And this is how we begin each conversation for each of our strands. And this specifically is regarding the grammar strand. So I've put that right behind the tab because it's good information to know. And then for Latin, because we have a Latin workbook, I just put loose leaf paper here for anything that she wants to write when she's in seminar specific to Latin. Following that is exposition. And by the way, my daughter's book is laid out in the order that I will share and we will discuss in class. I do not follow the order of the challenge guide. I look at my audience and I look at what I'm doing, and that's what I determine. That's when I determine the order that I'm going to be sharing. And at our community, It's going to be grammar first, then exposition, then research, then debate. Actually, these three are before lunch, and then after lunch, we'll do debate, reasoning, which is our logic strand. I meant not our logic. Reasoning is formal logic, informal logic, and then our logic strand, which is math in classical conversations. All right, so now I'm back to the next tab. You've got a tab divider with a pocket folder for any work that needs to go with her to seminar. Boom. After that, you've got the appendix about exposition. It talks about tailoring. It gives us the beginning of the conversation, the 5 common topics, which are part of the invention canon. And also, in this case, it has the specific denotion of American literature. So, after that, all of these came from the challenge guide. And you'll notice I put them in sheet protectors because I don't want them to rip out of this book. The sheet protectors are to protect them from ripping. This book tends to be flipped a lot because we use it at home. She uses it in seminar. So the sheet protectors are vital in order to keep this information, which will stay in here for the entire year. So here we have in community and at home, more information, peer review sheet. I love for her to know the information about when her peers are going to review her work, when she's presenting. And then you've got all the parts of exposition that are all the information that she'll need to know regarding the work that she'll be doing in the exposition strand. And this is the comparison essay outline. How cool is that? And we can continue. All of this came from the appendix in the challenge guide. And then once we end that, for exposition, I love that spiral notebooks have 3 hole punches. She can either pull this out for seminar and use it right while her binder's open, or she can keep it in the binder and she can somewhat open the page, if she needs to just look at something. But this notebook will be used at home and in school. It goes back into this binder when she's done with her work daily and when she's done with her work for the week. Okay. And that the binder is important because I use more, there may be more notes needed. There are more notes taken in exposition than, say, another strand that only has loose leaf paper. So now we've got research. There's your pocket folder. And behind research, there's all of the appendix. How to study. The physical science portion. Scientific method. Love that. This has been in several of the challenge guides. And then specific about what we're going to be doing in the research strand, including note card format, etc. So lots of good information for the strand. And because it is science, I thought I'd put grid paper in here, as well as college rule size note paper. This may be college rule, maybe not. I keep notebook paper all the time, loose leaf paper. So it may not be college rule, but we'll see. And evidently Ava's already had her hand on this before I pulled it and put it in here. Oh. So anyway, then we go to debate. The debate strand has lots of extras. All this information is from the challenge guide. And it's all in sheet protectors just to make sure it stays in place in this binder. And then, of course, I've chosen another notebook for debate. I am new to challenge 1, so this may be replaced, but right now I'm thinking it's going to be the best thing for her use in debate strand. While we're in seminar, for those good, the information she wants to make sure she makes a note of from our discussions, as well as work at home. So, reasoning, not any different than any other strand. Pulled from the appendix. Sheet protected it. And yes, I chose another spiral notebook for research. Although I know there is possible, oh no, this is not research, this is reasoning. Yes, definitely a spiral notebook for reasoning. Okay, now, not definitely. This may be exchanged for another book because we do have a workbook for reasoning. So, but I still like for her to have some kind of notebook. If not a spiral notebook, then we'll replace it with loose leaf paper. So that's reasoning. And logic is last in my curriculum because logic is the only part of the Challenge One program that is outsourced with regard to the curriculum that the family uses at home. This again, a pocket folder. The pocket folder is specific for problems that she's going to bring to seminar that we will discuss. And of course, behind there, you got a sheet protector. The sheet protector holds one page from the appendix of the guide. And for any note taking while we're doing logic in the classroom, just loose leaf paper. I know from experience that it's very unlikely that there'll be a lot of note taking in logic since the students use the curriculum of their parents' choice at home. And oh, look at that. There's my baby's name. So this is the Challenge One notebook or binder that my baby takes to school. She actually prefers it. I started doing this method in Challenge A because I needed to make sure that the students knew that they needed to have their desktop or their desk drawer. I called this book The Desk Drawer because it was the only way I could assure that the kids brought their work to seminar and there were no excuses. Here's the rules of their desk drawer. When you finish your work for the day at home, put it in your desk drawer in the proper tab for the subject that they're working on. That's when they're finished for the day, even though it's not complete. And then when they've completed their work for that strand for the week, put it in the desk drawer. That way they will be assured that they've got it when it comes time to come to seminar. And on Sunday, that is when we make sure that we grab our desk drawer and bring it to seminar. We grab our desk drawer, put it in the backpack. She puts it in her backpack with all the other things that need to come to seminar. And because of this, my daughter does not leave anything at home, and neither do the kids that have done this in the past. Put it in your desk drawer. When they have not completed and put their stuff in their desk drawer, they are not happy when they come to seminar because they know I'm going to ask if they put everything in their desk drawer. This is how we make sure that the work that needs to come to seminar arrives at seminar by creating the three ring binder, 3 inches with all the goodies on the inside of it. The other thing that the 3 ring binder helps the student avoid is all of those small binders. There are some students that like to do 1-inch binders of all 6 strands. Well, guess what? A 1-inch binder of all 6 strands is a 6-inch load of binders for their backpack. It is far too much to carry, and it really packs that backpack. This is tight, it is efficient, and it assures that everything, with the exception of the books, every bit of the papers and work that my student needs to bring, they arrive at CC at our seminar because she uses her desk drawer and she puts her work in there every single end of our school day. Every single end of school day. She puts whatever she's working on in her desk drawer, whether it's finished or if she's got to get it out the next day. This is her desk drawer. This is where she gets her work from, and this is where her work goes back to when it is done. As long as it's not in a workbook, the workbooks automatically come, period. So this is it. I hope this blesses you. And I'm hoping that, to put this separate just made sense. And this is where it stays. When she's not working, when she comes to work, immediately this is the same way we did it before. This is why I can say this, even though the school year has not begun. She comes to this binder. She gets the binder out of her book bag. She opens this binder, and the first thing she pulls out is this. And she checks, what does she need to do? What week are we on? Boom, this is the current week. And this is, but the first thing she'll do is go to the challenge guide current week. She'll pull whatever tab holds the current week that we're on. And then she'll look at what she's got to do. And then she'll go to the individual tasks in her personal planner that's right in front of the challenge guide, first semester in this case. Alrighty, that is it. You all have a blessed one. Until we meet again on this venue, shalom, shalom. Bye.